Hello and welcome back to What You Need to Know for Sound Operators. In this video, I'm going to be covering the external devices that we use for all of the audio needs around the entire building. This is going to include the iPad here, which runs our Apple Music playlist. The laptop behind me runs Ableton Multitracks, and also the Q-SYS control, which allows us to control the lobby speakers and the outdoor speakers outside. And also the computer behind me, behind my head up there, also runs Ableton for virtual sound check and is the live stream computer. First of all, we'll start with the easy stuff, and that is Apple Music. We have this iPad right here. It stays plugged in for power all the time. The battery is really old, so if you unplug it, it will die. Just make sure that you leave it plugged in. We have to connect it to the WeM Pro. That is the device that wirelessly sends the audio from Apple Music to the soundboard here and also sends it out to the lobby and outdoor speakers as well. So we have to connect the audio output of the iPad to the WeM Pro. Once we do that, make sure shuffle and repeat are on. Once all of that is set up, we can just start playing the music. Once service starts, we do not stop the music, because if we stop the playlist, the iPad will disconnect from the WeM Pro and we'll have to reconnect it again. Just make sure that you leave the iPad plugged in, leave the music running the entire service. You will see the music meter right here is always metering because the music is always playing. That is what you want. And if you want to hear the music, you of course just turn the fader up and turn it down if you don't want to hear it. And there's also the mute button right there, which is handy. So if you want to make sure that you're not going to accidentally bump the fader, just hit the mute button and prevent yourself from causing an accident in the middle of service. Apple Music can run from any device on the network. It just so happens that the iPad right here is what we use. It's really easy to have access to right next to the soundboard. It sits on the cart right next to us. Now let's go ahead and shift our focus over to Ableton. Before we get to Ableton Live, we are going to look at Q-SYS control. We can just select that. Interface number 1 is the one that we use to control the outdoor and lobby speakers. So we just select that and it opens this window right here. These are 4 wireless microphones right here, Media and Worship Center. Media is our Apple Music playlist. So when we are playing music from Apple Music, we can see that there's this meter right here, and that is showing the music in this channel. And that is the Apple Music playlist, and that is separate from the soundboard audio. So the music fader on the soundboard has no connection to this media channel right here. Worship Center right here is the audio from the live stream. So if we had worship happening or if the pastor was preaching, we would be seeing audio meter on this Worship Center channel. Obviously, the mute button mutes and unmutes the channel. If it is red, it is muted. On the right side right here, this orange line right here is our fader essentially. So that's our volume control. We could just click it and drag it up and down. All of these faders right now are in the position that they should be in for the most part. We also have the volume up and the volume down buttons right here. The lobby speakers and outdoor speakers are usually left unmuted. These 6 channels over here are inputs and these are the outputs. Before service, we have the walk-in music that's playing from the Apple Music playlist. So if we want to hear that in the lobby and the outdoor speakers, we unmute the media, we have the music playing, and then we will see audio is coming to our speakers out there. When service starts and the countdown starts, we switch it from the media to the Worship Center. There will be a countdown video playing while the countdown starts, and there will be audio from that, and that will come through the live stream feed to this channel and will be sent to the speakers outside. That, in a nutshell, is Q-SYS control. So you have to learn how to use this. You have to be able to operate it. You are responsible for this as the sound operator. Now, let's switch from Q-SYS back to Ableton Live. This is the program that we use to send our multitracks. We will find on our desktop, we have all of our multitracks files here. We will have 4 different songs loaded into Ableton and ready to go. So you don't have to worry about setting any of this stuff up. It's just to make you aware of it. On Sunday morning, this is what you will see. We have these 4 folders right here. These are our songs. What you need to do is you need to make sure that the audio is connected. Open the audio preferences, and here in the audio output device, you need to select Dante Virtual Sound Card right there. Ableton will not respond if there is no audio connected, so you have to connect that there. So your job as the sound operator is to select each of these songs and to play them so that the band can get the click and the guide and the cues, and then they play along with the multitracks from the stage. Each of these songs has a marker up here, song 1, song 2, song 3, song 4. If we select the numbers on the keyboard, 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can see that each of those songs are selected. Once a song is selected, we can play the song. We also have MIDI down here as well. And MIDI should already be connected by the time you come on Sunday morning, but we can connect MIDI to our Pro Presenter. In each of these songs, there is this little gray select slide track that uses MIDI to control the lyrics. If you're interested in all that stuff, you should start learning about it and start learning about MIDI, learning about Pro Presenter, learning about how they connect with each other. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun. It's very rewarding. I encourage you to do that if you feel called to. Once our audio is connected, once our MIDI is connected, again, we just select song number 1 by hitting the number 1 on the keyboard, and then you hit play right here. You will see the timeline progress. At the end of the song, some of the songs have this little marker right here that automatically stops the song once it finishes. But between song 2 and 3, there is no break. It goes from one song to another. So there's this other little track right here that automatically transitions from the end of song 2 to the beginning of song 3 right here. And that is how you operate Ableton for multitracks as a sound operator. There is more to get into with this. Again, you have to have in-person training for all this stuff, because if you don't have in-person training, you're not going to know how to use it, and you're not going to be able to do the sound operator position. There is another little track right here, virtual sound check record. If I just zoom in to one of those little markers right here on that track, there's virtual sound check record start, virtual sound check record stop. So at the beginning of a song, MIDI can trigger the virtual sound check computer to start recording as soon as we select this song and hit play. Once the song is over, it will have another little track right here that will stop the recording automatically through MIDI on the virtual sound check computer. This is the computer where we run Ableton for virtual sound check, and also it is where we run our live stream on YouTube as well. On the soundboard, there are those soft keys over on the right-hand side. Soft keys number 22 and 23 are for our virtual sound check functions. There's a device on the network called Dante Virtual Sound Card, which is essentially a digital transporter for audio across the network. That Dante device is what we are using for this virtual sound check, hence the name Dante Virtual Sound Check. When record send on soft key number 22 is selected, we are sending audio to record into Ableton on this computer right here. And when the virtual sound check button is selected on soft key number 23, then audio is being sent from the virtual sound check computer back through those same channels in Dante Virtual Sound Card back into the soundboard. This allows us to record a rehearsal on Wednesday night, and we can record each individual instrument. Here's one of those recordings. We can see we've got the drum set up here in red, the bass, the guitars, the keys, the tracks here in these white tracks, and then the vocals all the way down here at the very bottom. Now, if you remember from just a few minutes ago in the Ableton Multitracks laptop, that has a couple of MIDI tracks which trigger this computer to record and to stop recording when the songs start and end. So as soon as you hit play on the Multitracks computer, this computer will start recording. Now, one thing that I should mention, if we're going to be getting multiple recordings of the same song, the virtual sound check computer right here will record the first song, and you can see that first song is recorded over here on the left side. But if we want to get a second recording of the same song, then we have to take our mouse and we have to come out here and select a different place on the timeline that is after that song. Otherwise, we'll just record over it. We'd have to go into the computer and find the tracks and re-import them into the session, and that would be just annoying to do. So if you don't want to mess with that, after the first song is recorded, we just select another place out here on the timeline, and right here is where the second song started recording. So there are some things that you have to know about that are unintuitive, shall we say, but once you do it in a couple rehearsals, after 2 or 3 weeks, you'll have it down and you won't have any issues after that. It's really easy to do. Now, this computer runs Ableton Virtual Sound Check and the live stream on YouTube. So to run the live stream on YouTube, we go to our studio and we go to the live stream scheduled for that Sunday. We also have our live stream encoder, which is this ATEM software control right here. And these are the two things that we need for our live stream to work. In ATEM, we click on air, and then in YouTube, we will see the stream is preparing a preview. We'll see our cameras and our graphics and everything. It's about 20 or 30 seconds delayed from what is actually happening in the room. We can hit go live. Once the service is over, this will say end stream, and we come back to ATEM and we click the off button to turn off the ATEM software control.